Peace and earth, everybody. All praise, credit, nobody else.
Oh, praise the high, the most high. Oh, praise the high, the most high.
All praise, credit, peace, and love. Some feels gonna hurt today because I need to if you ought to get it right. So we're gonna go straight to the part in the New Living Translation where the devil admits that he confused the noble of Judah to do the Sabbath. Because Sabbath stands for Saturday, Saturday stands for Saturn, Saturn stands for the devil. It's the devil's day. And furthermore, we didn't call it the Sabbath, we called our days regular old feast days. Or we call it a feast day because it's for everlasting feast day. Every single second of your life was all for the Creator. You praise Him every single second. Just like in heaven, every single second of your life, you praised Him. You never got a break. There was no break. Somebody say, that's impossible. No, that's even brainwashed. It's not impossible. So you praise Him, research Him, and talk to the Creator 24/7 every day because the Creator is in you, so you can't get away from the Creator. So you might as well deal with the Creator. But let's go ahead. New Living Translation, where the devil admits this. So I confused the noble of Judah. The devil confused the noble of Judah. How? Why are you performing the Sabbath? The devil tricks y'all to do the Sabbath. Then he asks you why are you performing it after he admitted that he's the one that got you to do it in this evil way. Of course, now the devil already knows that it's evil, but this is just another trick. And what the devil was trying to around this time was to go ahead and make it even more evil than you already were. But the devil just straight telling you, I the one that confused you. The devil saying he confused the noble of Judah. The devil said he's the one that got them to do the evil Sabbath. And then he asked the question, why y'all doing it? Because the devil tricked you. He told you why you doing it, because he's the one that got you. Then I confused the noble of Judah and said to them, what is this evil thing that you are doing, performing this Sabbath day? So first he confused the noble to get y'all to do the Sabbath. And then he goes further to confuse and ask you why you're doing it. Why? To get you to defend it. So you can be, because the Creator said for us to do this and it. No. The devil was the one that told y'all to do that when he landed. And after the seventh day, he landed with his spaceship on this planet and ate up all this food and stuff. And then he said, the 7 days for me to rest. And that's why this book that say the Sabbath is for the devil to do whatever he pleased with. Mr. J, as they call him. No, look. Then I rebuke the noble of Judah and ask, what is this evil you are doing, performing the Sabbath day? Look at that. Now, it's evil. This is in your book. So then you know that it's evil. And, okay. So it's evil, man, and that's in your face. There's no denying it. Hey, oh boy. There's no denying it, man. And look. Hey, Midnight. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Let me jump back. So, now look. How much more the double? Okay. Let me see. Now look. Another one. This is somebody rebuking him. I rebuked the noble of Judah. Who was the nobles of Judah? The high priest. They had their own agenda. They were wicked. And said, to them, what is the wicked thing you are doing? Serving the Sabbath day. So you got in scripture where people are asking why they doing this day that is evil. This is in scripture, your own books. And I'm showing you the scriptures that's showing you how evil it is. Then it goes this. Now look what I put in. The evil Sabbath day it really is. Bam, that's at the top. You can see that right there, right? The seventh day Sabbath. The Christians do it. Christian stands for devil worshippers. Come on, man. Why did Mr. J keep and command everybody, what? The shocking plan in the Bible where it shouldn't be in there? Which the two of the Sabbath day, Saturday and Sunday, which is both days, does God, dog, the devil, matter? Why would Mr. J take the Sabbath? Because the Sabbath is for the devil to do whatever he pleases. Mr. J is the devil. But y'all still doing the Sabbath day. See, when you get to stuff like this, there is no sit over there and trying to play it off. Because then you find out, yes, brother, be minute, how evil these Sabbath things are. Now, Exodus doesn't but that brings out in scripture, and I told y'all to watch this video. Some of y'all most likely didn't, but y'all should have. And if y'all didn't, go back and watch it again. Because here's why. Here's what's going on. Because now if you look, then you're going to find out in Exodus was where the high priests were. The high priests are evil, they're wicked, and they pushed them Sabbath days. That was a noble of Judah. The high priest turned evil, and they got rebuked, and the devil admitted he's the one that confused them to do the Sabbath days. On that, as you see in Exodus, is when the high priests bring that stuff out. And if you don't remember, in Exodus, we got out of Egypt, and while we was in the desert, the Creator made sure that as far as Egypt goes, he destroyed Egypt. But when we got out of Egypt, we were still doing all the Egyptian laws and the Sumerian laws. And if you look at the real story of Egypt, then you will find out that when we was in the desert, he didn't just cause earthquake because of the cattle, the calves that golden calf they made. He also brought wild animals ate the people because they were still doing the devil's law. He also was he was also starved us out with food and water because we were doing all the Egyptian Sumerian rules and laws, and we was in the desert because we lost our laws. We didn't have them anymore, and we still don't have them to this day. We don't have a forever feast day because the moon's here, and we're not in our district. We're someplace we're not supposed to be. This is the Devil's Playground because we're in the Devil's Playground district called Middle Earth, or something known to call as District 9. All right? So in Exodus is when the high priest had to start pushing us in the desert. And let me ask you a question. If we were doing right in the desert, then how come we were stuck there? And how come only the young got out? Because the young was not going to end up doing these days that the Creator did not want us to do. See, now if you look in Exodus, it was written by the high priests who were wicked and told you to do these double laws and keep them holy because they had an agenda. They were high priests. And if you actually look further, you will find out that eventually when our people disowned the high priest, that eventually the high priest went to the outside nations and then asked the outside nations to help them track us down to bring us back to slavery because we would not do the high priest laws which they gave us in Exodus because we found out that all the high priests were crooked and the high priest was the noble of Judah. Our people started thinking like the slave master and started pushing slave master doctrine on our own people. I'm giving you the history of it. Let's see, make sure I didn't skip nothing. Boom, boom. I got that. Let's get you this. Okay, no, I got you that. Got you that. Let's see what else I didn't get you. Okay, I got you that. Let's keep going. All right, now what's piggyback? Let's piggyback right here. This is gonna blow your mind. Now, when you actually research the Sabbath, you find it is actually witchcraft. It's in your face. Witchcraft is the Sabbath. Witches' Sabbath is a 1793. We was in slavery, old covenant, right, by the Spanish Arctic Francois Goya, and the Spanish was serving who? The devil. So you are dealing with the devil's law, and it's witchcraft. Today it is head and the Marcel Lezard Golden Modern. It was preached in the 1798 and slavery, along with the 5 other planting related to witchcraft by the dukes and the duchesses of Austria. So there was 7 different Sabbath witchcraft days. And this is all witchcraft. It's in your face. You can't deny it. And God stands for dog. It stands for the devil. Christians keep the Sabbath. Christian has the word Satan in it. So when you sit up there and you keep doing these days, then you're only serving the devil. Witch's flight is an old covenant with the devil, putting what contemplated in the 1798 by the Spanish. And you're going to see a lot of this. Now, this was not talking about the actually does bring in the dukes, witchcraft, and by the dukes and the dukeses. So this one brings back in the dukes who was confederate against you, who deal with witchcraft, are the ones who was behind tricking you into the Sabbath. And this is just more literature. Each one I pull up is going to bring up how the Sabbath is witchcraft. You're seeing it for yourself. I'm only piggybacking, showing you stuff already proven. Witch Sabbath. The witch's Sabbath is the great he-goat, our name given. The he-goat is a devil, to the old Merle by the Spanish. The Spanish who had to deal with the devil, which was called the Sabbath. The correct word, which you said would be to say witch's Sabbath, because that's what it is. Completed sometimes between the 1820s and the 1823s. It explores themes of violence. Okay, also incest. Okay, death. Satan hoax. Satan's hoax is the Sabbath. He tricked y'all to do it in the form of a goat. The goat is the devil. When you do the Sabbath, it is for the devil who is the goat. And the moonlight. Also, the moon is also another one of the devil's planet. It's where the grays live, the gray people. Okay? And it all goes to what? The witch's Sabbath, because the Sabbath is the demonic day. Now, if we go here, you will find that will blow your mind. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a live eventually. I just got to find out the plug. These Sabbaths that they got to do and cutting your thing off right there, you find out that these are Syrians in Egypt. That's not our people. These here, Syria and Egypt, those are not our people. Right? Syria and Egypt. Those are not our people. This is the wicked Sabbath, which is about chewing the man's penis foreskin off of his thing. Okay? And also violence. And then dealing with dough. Let's go some more. This is Syria and Egypt doing this. This is not us. It's in Egypt, part 2. They're doing this is part of their Sabbath. And look at that baby the guy's holding up. They killed the baby on the Sabbath. You want to see something messed up? The guy has the baby in there like he's going to sacrifice it. Hold on. Let's get past that. Let's look at us though. Let's look at us. You see that? You see us? Hey, we not doing that stuff. We not doing that stuff. We not doing that stuff. Wanna know why? Because we wasn't serving the devil. We tried to get away from it. The few of us. And again, if you go ahead and I told y'all, watch this guy's channel. Because you should.
Detail, go back to the first lesson.
Okay.
All right, so in Genesis 1:19-21.
How the Bible changed up so many times is not even funny from one sentence to the next because it is written and it was a lot of trickery and they're putting by the devil to get you to do stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. So you guys can watch this channel. Alright? Watch this channel. I already showed y'all more evidence and backtracked on evidence that was shown. Read it to y'all word for word so y'all can see it so that there's no denying it. Once again, like I always do. Okay? And as you see it, we had witches Sabbath, and the Sabbath is for witches. So if you're not a witch, you're not Syrian, you're not Egyptian, you don't believe in witchcraft, you don't have a Sabbath agreement with the devil, and you're not a witch, you're not a warlock, then therefore you should not be doing Sabbaths, because Sabbath stands for Saturday, Saturday stands for Saturn, Saturn stands for Satan, because of those planets, just like the moonlight Sabbath, the same thing. The witches and the dukes and the high priests and the high priests were the noble of Judah who had their own agenda. And unfortunately, the high priest, the noble of Judah, ran to the outside nations when they could not get you to do the Sabbath days anymore. And they got them to put you back in slavery to make you do the Sabbath days. Because every time you did a Sabbath day, although the high priest, the noble of Judah, our own people, knew it was evil, your leaders wanted money. Isn't that funny that on church, they always want money? So in other words, nothing's changed, and it's still devil worship. Peace and love. Hope y'all listen. Hope y'all get it. And there's plenty of books that tell you the same thing. I just had a brother call me and text me a couple of nights ago and says, bro, I read in older books and everything you said and everything you've been showing is in those books, proving that 1,000% right. And all I can say is the Creator's always right because the Creator's the one that shows me. And all I'm doing is showing you information and even back information on it. And I advise you to do the research because everything I tell you is only the tip of the iceberg. So the minute you do the research, you're going to find out how bad things are and how much I'm not telling you. And then you either text me or comment like a lot of folks have done the past few weeks and say, bro, you need to show the people this. You didn't show the people enough. You're only skimming the surface. And they're right. I'm skimming the surface on purpose because I don't want to scare you off how evil that this thing is. Although I probably should be just letting the whole enchilada out instead of skimming the surface, but I realize if I sit there and give you everything, you won't do the research. So I'm only going to give you bits and pieces, and I will hope that you will go ahead and do the research, because I done got 10 phone calls and a couple of texts from brothers who researched everything I said, and they actually have started sending me more stuff on top of that, and researching it and saying, bro, this whole Sabbath thing is so evil that it's not funny. I already knew that. I done got tons of videos back to back on this channel and on my other channel, which I like more than this channel, because that's my secret channel. I get to expose more stuff that I can't talk about on this channel. I try to keep that on the low. You will see that there's tons of reading scriptures, books, and the whole 9 yards, and videos, and even omissions of the enemy admitting that they the ones that tricked y'all to do it. It was part of the priests of Mahan, the Canaanite church, agenda to get us to do that. Okay? So, and then I also had exposed why they changed 3 of the commandments and took them out. And one of the first commandments was do not make any deals with Baal. Baal is the devil, and the Sabbath is the Baal's law, which means that you should not make any deals, so don't do it so that you have no deal with the Baal. That's the same thing our people were sacrificing their children to. That's the same thing the high priest got us to sacrifice our children to. And that's the same thing the high priest who was the noble of Judah. That's right. Our own people, our own leaders, tricked us into doing it because they wanted that, what you call Saturday or Sunday offering. They wanted the money. And this is also why they were working with gay King James and the Catholic people, who were calling cavemen at the time, just being honest, to work together to get stuff in that book to get you back on the Sabbath, so that they could work with the priest of Mahan, the Canaanite church, the Catholic church, and the Jesuits to get you back to the buildings so they can get you to give the offering money to the high priest, who were the high nobles of Judah, your own people, the leaders, the warriors. Our own people did it to ourselves. We ended up in slavery because we got tricked by our own people. And King Faggot James, who was a gay man who hated his own people and loved the white folks and even married into them, was the leader in front of what you know as the Jacobites. The noble of Judah even started dealing with the Arabic and the Arabic religion, okay, as Moors. The noble of Judah, that's right, our own leaders, are the same people who married onto the outside nations and raised them up. The noble of Judah, that's right, our own people, are the same ones that helped the Catholic Church stake Mr. J in that book, along with Mr. J's Sabbath, so that they can make money off their own people. The high priests were unfortunately the noble of Judah. The noble of Judah was going to war against his own people with the white man at his side to help enslave the people because they wanted money. And this is why you hear people say, we start thinking like the oppressor. The noble of Judah, your kings, our leaders at the time, sided with the outside nations because of greed and money, and we fell from within because of greed and money and through marriage, and gave up the kingdom in the process. So, what a sorrowful tale we've weaved, and our own people, Judah, the nobles, the rich, the kings of our people, are the ones that help, along with a queen, put us in slavery because of money. And it all spans from the Sabbath, because that was the big money day. Can somebody say $1,000 club? Peace and love.
Praise the high, the